We finally made it all the way to Labrys, and she's got quite an interesting heavy hitting kit with some gap closers, which is pretty nice. So Labrys has a huge axe, and basically, apparently, you do more damage based on the color of her axe at the bottom left. I'm not really sure actually how that works, but it does glow differently depending on the state of the fight. The cool thing about Labrys though is that she has super wide swings, so especially her air time. So she has two special air attacks for her heavy, which is pretty damn cool. You have to land the first one though, like this. But her heavies can be held like this. They can also be held downwards too. And the cool thing about her large swings is that a lot of them have just instant knockbacks. So one of her special moves is a wide swing like this, but if I hold it enough, this attack specifically absorbs an attack. So if I hit an enemy with this and they bounce off the wall, I can combo with my all-out attack hit, which is a downward swing. So if I do like this, do this, and this, then I can air juggle him a bit and combo into a light combo. Like that. That's kind of like the combo that I've got so far. Other than that, her persona has quite a decent range too. The Y ability actually pulls, it's a gravity pull. It pulls the enemy towards you like this, which is nice. The B is kind of a flurry of arrows, kind of similar to Mitsuru's, where it has some extra inputs. And her persona actually does have different abilities when you're in the air. So her B is like this, like a bunch of suns. The Y is the same though. Oh wait, no, the Y is different. It's like a, yeah, it's like a shield around her. As for the downwards one, they are the same though. So, same arrows. And I believe it's, yeah, so it's like an upward sun. It does have quite a unique kit for her persona abilities. Gonna have to get used to that. Other than that though, she does have a chain that she can close the gap with like this. And based on the input, you'll follow up with either a, just you get close to them, or a follow-up attack like this. She has different ways of closing the gap too. So you can do like this. Oops. She can do a downwards hit or like a forward hit, or just to close in like that too. So there's that. Anything else that I want to talk about real quick? Oh yeah, her backwards attacks are quite powerful too. So when you move the bumper backwards, you slide it backwards, she'll do a spin attack. Like this. Pretty nice, honestly. It's really reliable and it pretty much hits 180 around her. You can also do it in the air too, like this. I was thinking if I'm ever in the air, I can do like this, then hit him again, and then do it all out, like something like that, because it knocks them on the ground. So I could do maybe like an air combo like this, then down. Oh, whoops. Let me try that again. So like air combo, down, and then again. Or I could do a burst too, like this. Oh, put this. Ah, God, I'm so bad. Like this. Down. Oh, you can't hit him when he's down, I see. Or maybe just the range. No, okay, so when you burst, it's kind of just a cancel. Can't really one more out of that. But yeah, that's pretty much Labrys' kit. She's quite slow, but once she gets in there, she has quite a nice range. I'll showcase her skills real quick too. So her SP, her initial one is just a dash, and if it lands, she'll do a upward strike. Her SP is pretty nice too. A forward strike filled with arrows, and then her ending is pretty damn brutal. If the arrow hits, she finishes off. I don't even know what she hits him with. Her hand? Her axe? Anyways, it's time Time to finish this off. This is the last, well, from my knowledge, the last story for the P4 side, because I don't know what the last one will be. Could be Shadow Labrys. Initial boot successful. Timestamped 4/20, 1999. 10/16/39. Okay, 10 a.m.
The boot process was successful. This happens every time, but I'm never sure what to say to them first.
You mean like a greeting? There's no need for that, they're just machines.
2 humans within visual range. Both male. Searching for voice prints and visual matches. Personnel identified as research staff. No hostile targets.
But things like that might affect the performance of these models.
Because they have a mind, their emotions and things are completely faked. It's no different than an AI. It can't possibly be that sensitive.
Scanning for keywords in conversations. Running logical analysis. Cross-referencing with related data. Current conversation topic is not orders.
Well, until we rule it out completely, we should at least be kind to them.
So you say. All right, from this moment on, you will be registered as candidate unit number 031. Please repeat your number back to me.
Confirming first order. Initializing unit number. Output via voice requested. Activating voice synthesis model. Accepting input.
Unit number 031.
That's me.
Did its pronunciation sound a little odd to you?
You're worrying too much. Let's hurry up and haul it out.
Receiving action plan through the console. Combat test against others of same unit. Test commencing immediately after entering shock-resistant chamber within the lab. Frame stored within cage for transport. Beginning transport. Well, this is pretty cool.
Ah, so this is the one. I've been waiting to see it in action.
Because this is taking place 10 years before the events of P3. Which means this, what we're about to see here, is the initial tragedy that happened on Tatsumi Port Island, the grandfather incident. Transport complete. Cage reopened. New human found. Searching for voice print and visual matches. Personnel also identified as research staff. Female. Cutting connection to outside data supply. Connection offline. Commencing cable disconnection.
Now, try getting up.
This is just an All Might playthrough from Armored Core. Try getting up. Order confirmed. Battle chamber, okay. I've seen this this type of plot in many types of anime though, where it's like, I'll take all these orphans and get them to fight to the death. Whoever's the last orphan standing becomes the ultimate killer or something. Initiating motion synchronization engine for motor functions. Accepting input. Safety limiters active. Balance control gyros functional. Overall movement systems functional.
This model's loaded with a nearly pure form of that crystal. I can't wait to see what kind of results it gets.
Crystal, okay.
Unit number 031, can you hear me? Confirm your surroundings. Tell us any abnormalities you're feeling in your sensors or any other functions.
Nah man, your mic's kinda shit. Could you repeat that? Beginning simple self-diagnostic. Temperature, humidity, pressure, and air composition. Lumens sound all within normal levels. Visual data within expected color spectrum. All systems functional.
The readouts seem fine. Monitoring system is fully operational.
Okay, we're gonna test your performance inside the battle chamber now. When you hear the buzzer, consider everything that moves an enemy and eliminate them.
Order confirmed. Awaiting the signal to begin the test. Exit confirmed to be sealed. Room shape approximately cylindrical. Height approximately 11 meters. Area approximately 154 square meters. High energy light sources found on outer wall. Assumed to be fire resistant and bulletproof.
Sorry to do this just after you've woken up, but it'll be good to put you through your paces.
Release of facing hatch detected. Mobile objects intruding into chamber. 7 objects in total. Scanning for visual matches. Analysis, non-human. Confirmed as same module unit of humanoid weapon. Hostile markers confirmed. Classifying as hostile units. Releasing safety limiters. Combat limiters now set at 70%. 140%. 190%. I won't miss. Test commencement signal received. Targets hostile humanoid weapons. Commencing battle. Oh, do I actually get to fight? Like actual combat? Like fight? Oh, okay. Cutscene though. I think one of them was the Aegis model as well, the 5th generation. Because Labrys is 7th generation, I believe. Or I might have that mixed up. All targets eliminated. I see, okay. So she has PTSD from this. Hostile units no longer capable of motion. You had to face 7 enemies as well. Test termination signal received. Battle complete.
That was better than we could have hoped for.
Hey, what's with all the bodies? You made it fight that many on its first time?
Don't worry, it did great. This is a new high score for the first battle results.
Well done, unit number 031. Stand by for further instruction.
Order confirmed. Exiting test chamber. Beginning transport to maintenance room. Resetting safety limiters. Taking seat in maintenance chair.
We're done testing, but there's still one thing left to do today.
Oh, it was an actual sprite character, okay.
I'm going to temporarily shut down your optics. Can you close your eyes?
Closing eyes. Shutting optic inputs. Me when I'm talking about my eyes, my optic inputs. Connecting cables. Online confirmed. Switching a portion of data supply to outside source.
We're going to transfer the data from the destroyed units into your memory. Run a diagnostic check while we're doing it and report any malfunctions. Understood?
Order confirmed. Readying self-diagnostic. Initiating data transfer. Initiating personality module link. Oh, wait, that's how Aegis was able to find her, the personality module. Initiating diagnostic of transferred data and sorting procedures. Sector 001 close combat control data. Will investigate improvement of tactical patterns through synthesis and acquisition of data. Dividing into categories for sorting. Sector 002 evasive action control data. Will investigate improvement of tactical patterns through synthesis and acquisition. Okay, it's the same thing. Section 3 non-battle data. Error excluding. Section 4, non-battle data. Okay. Battle-related data, what could these be? Momentary disruption of data from visual info stream. A room that is not this place. Outdoor scenery thought to be at night. Scenes of multiple units of the same type gathering outside of the battle chamber. Could these be memories? Wait, what? Memories of her and a bunch of other robots outside looking at the night sky? Okay. These are unrelated to the mission. Why have apparently purposeless memories been preserved this long? 20 to 40% of the info has been extracted from all 7 units are confirmed to be such info. Incomprehensible. What is this?
Anything to report?
Cables disconnected. Time elapsed during data transfer approximately 5 minutes. Reopening optic inputs, calibrating servos.
All right then, unit number 031, give us a simple report of today's battle results.
Order confirmed. Delivering oral report of test results.
This was the first test battle against others of my model. 7 units destroyed. Below 15% damage sustained. Don't seem to be any problems.
Was that...
Unusual expression detected from research staff. Facial recognition library indicates surprise.
Did I say something funny?
Does it have an accent?
Accent? Do you not understand the words coming out of my mouth?
No, we do, but
See? I wasn't hearing things. The unit's speech really is peculiar.
You don't need to yell.
Is the language interface not set to default? Sheesh. If we'd known this, we would have reset it in advance.
Yeah, the base's personality might be coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the volunteers were from the Kansai area.
but it just woke up. Would it be exhibiting such distinct mannerisms this early?
It may be the effect of an enlarged plume of dusk, the basis of their mind. Perhaps it's accelerating their personality development.
Exchange of opinions taking place of an unexplained aberrance in speech pattern. Hypothesis offered that language interference settings fall outside expected results. Review of recent convo does reveal certain discrepancies. Internal monologue is within expected patterns, but oral output induces anomalies. Anomalies not affecting meaning, no impediments to communication predicted.
But I don't want to waste this feedback data. Those are the best results we've ever seen.
Leave it, it'll be fine. It can understand us anyway. This is just one of those things that makes science interesting.
There you go again. This unit is going to be communicating with the others. What if this effect spreads? Not only that, but because this is an anomaly, it doesn't seem to have a 100% accurate accent either.
But if it has a personality, that might speed up the development of its mind.
Yeah, she's right.
The three researchers are standing around the maintenance chair. Each holds a tablet and examines the display on the chair.
All right, unit number 031, we'll explain things from the top.
Voice patterns consistent with research staff.
You are a weapon created to fight against unique enemies. Therefore, your combat performance is prioritized over all else. But in order for you to use a particular ability, you've been given a certain amount of awareness, and that makes your performance difficult to quantify. So we've been pitting test units against each other as a selective growth process. It's all in the service of achieving higher performance, and we don't want to waste any plumes of dusk.
Plumes of dusk. I think Elizabeth brought up that term before. I'm guessing it's something that is important in the base game of P3, but I don't recall it being brought up in Portable. So maybe it's only in the base game, like FES, which is not on Steam. Searching term, Plume of Dusk. One match found. Oh good, educate me. A crystalline substance at the core of personality modules. Its name derives from its thin, plate-like shape resembling a shed bird's feather. Okay, so basically it's like a supernatural material that can give something a personality. In addition to its circuit-like structure, it has an unnatural vital reaction in response to external stimulus. Similar to a living thing, yet different. It is thought to exist in a state between mind and matter, mass and info. The details are unknown. There are 12 other subheadings classified under level 7 clearance. Access denied. Matter interpreted as the core of personality modules.
But regardless of your ego, there is one rule you must abide by. You might as well think of it as an order.
One rule to abide by. Awaiting order.
The only order is to destroy everything we identify as enemies and to emerge victorious. Though your ego will give you some flexibility when planning tactics, there's no need to think about extraneous side issues. Use everything you have to win a fight. That's all you need to concentrate on.
Order confirmed.
Understood.
Destroy identified enemies and emerge victorious. A clear order. It is consistent with the role of a weapon. No abnormalities. Everything is clear. Alright, well, Labrys is now born. Underwent maintenance on the chair after the test battle. Post-reboot diagnostics showed status normal. The time was 7 p.m.? Yep. Research staff set new activity cycle. All units will exit standby mode at 9 a.m. Tests will now be conducted at regular intervals until 5 p.m. Maintenance and setup will take place until 7 p.m. Afterwards, time is allowed to be spent at the outdoor area of the grounds. On returning, enter standby mode within the cage. Instructions are to repeat these actions until unable to continue. The next item on the new schedule is to spend their time in the outdoor area. Parameters of spending time unknown. Hypothesize that the meaning is to remain on standby and wait for time to pass. Hypothesis unnecessary. The schedule must be followed. Exiting building. God, I couldn't imagine living my life having that internal monologue. Outdoor area reached. Light levels limited due to the time of day. Many trees still visible in the environment. It is almost entirely consistent with known data from the off-limits area. The ground is different from the laboratory's artificial flooring. The soil is exposed. Various natural plants are here. A certain amount of time must be spent here. The intentions may be heightened basic response capabilities in the natural world. Others of the same unit can be seen stepping into the central area. Reassessing the surroundings of various spectra. Unlike the combat test, no hostile unit markers detected. Hypothetical, in combat under current conditions, what tactics could be effective? I reassess the surroundings as a combat environment. I assign value to various geographical features. I survey the topography on the outskirts of the environment. I detect unusual movement in one unit. Other units are also surveying the environment, but this unit is crouched while holding something with its right arm. I do not deem this unit's unusual actions to be a threat. I approach it in order to make inquiries. Upon my approach, the unit turns around and stands.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
I process this statement. Okay, she's got the same eyes and headgear, so probably the same model. Its conversation's gambit is unexpected. I find no prepared response in my libraries.
You mean like how this is our first encounter? In that case, yeah. What are you doing here?
I've never heard your accent before. It's intriguing.
They said stuff about my accent too earlier. Do I really talk that funny?
Yeah, this is the future. You know, give it 10 years, they're going to be mass producing AI girlfriends just like this for chronically online people.
I wouldn't say it's strange. It was just surprising.
This unit looks over again and then speaks quietly to say something in its right hand. I examine what it holds. It's a lunar tear. It is an organism. Its body is covered in white fur.
What's that thing?
Was it a possum?
It's a dog. It must have wandered in.
Oh shit. Dog, eliminate. Organism's parameters are consistent with assessed data on dog. Its size does not present a threat. The search of its specified breed is cancelled.
A dog.
The unit turns its gaze back at me.
My unit number is 024. I wouldn't call it my name, but that's how they refer to me. What's yours?
The unit has provided its designation despite no prior inquiry. Reason unknown.
I'm unit number 031.
They're up to the 30s. I see. That must mean they're finally creating units loaded with full-sized ones.
The dog barks. A scan of the surroundings shows several units turning to investigate. All units ignore and look away.
This one wants to say hello too.
It does? You can understand what dogs say?
Kind of. After carefully comparing its mannerisms and slight variances in its barking, I just figured it out.
Its right hand pats the dog's head, while its left hand scratches the dog's neck. 024 continues to make various forms of contact with the dog. Its actions are consistent with styles of communication. Hypothesis: the objective of spending time in this area is to develop communicative skills. Conversing with others of the same unit and refining communications will enhance cooperative tactics. Counterpoint: no value detected in communicating with organisms not of same unit or human.
What's the point in doing that with a dog?
The point? There isn't one, I suppose.
There is no point. Unexpected response strongly indicates that 24 is not like other units. Nah, Labrys' story is basically just near automata.
Are you interested in what I'm doing, though?
Interested? Is there interest involved? That seems to be the case. How much %? Unsure of purpose of earlier question to 24. Why ask it? Oh shit, it's a bomb. On oral sensors detect electric noise. Recognized as pseudo-info involving no sound waves yet perceived as sound data. It is the alarm signaling the end of this activity. All other units begin moving as one towards the building. 24 speaks to the dog it cradles.
Sounds like that's all the time we have today. I need to get back.
24 crouches while petting the dog's fur-covered body and releases it onto the ground. It stands up and turns around.
I hope to see you again.
Oh, let me guess, we're gonna have to kill her later. Her expression changes as it says this. Movement of its lips is known as a smile. It is shown when humans experience happiness. Contradiction: 24 is a weapon, yet it makes that expression. No hypothesis found. Or, is there no point to it as well? Spare cognitive processes rerouted to analysis. Still, I cannot understand it. They're gonna break your heart with this AI develops a heart again, like I guess. They're gonna make me destroy everybody. The next day, after being released from standby, I am assigned to a test battle against others of my unit as yesterday. Order confirmed. I am taken to the same chamber. The battle commences. I destroy the other 3 units and sustain a little damage. As I wait there, the researchers come in. All have what seems to be a high praise for my abilities. Do not understand how I should react to this. Should I give an expression of joy? As 24 did? The researchers crouch next to the units I destroyed and begin work on them. I think back and recall what they underwent this process yesterday as well. I am curious and I approach them. They open a slit near the unit's neck and use tweezers to remove a bluish-white plate-like object. It shines. They put the object into a petri dish. The distinct shine, neither strong nor weak, is like... no similarities found. I am sure it is similar to something, but I cannot assess the relevant memory. Maybe that's the plume of dusk? It's like a blue
let's
translucent
get right to the
material.
feedback on today's battle.
As I sit in the maintenance chair, they connect a cable to me. The cable terminates at the midsection of a large device where petri dishes from earlier are placed. Oh, right. So what they're doing is they're creating like a super soldier, like Captain America or something, but instead they're inducing Labrys with all the memories of the robots she destroys so that she like absorbs them essentially. But I see, this is how Labrys develops her personality, because although she develops their combat memories, she also inherits their like personality modules too, and their lived experiences. So that's probably going to cause her like a lot of trauma. There are a total of 3. Each contains a bluish-white plate-like object.
What's that?
The researcher's expression subtly changes. She is surprised. It only lasts for a moment before it fades.
This is a plume of dusk. Each of the units you destroyed had one inside them. These are much smaller than the one installed in you, though.
I know what this is. This is a plume of dusk installed in me too. This unknown substance forms the core of my personality module. I was aware of its existence, but this is my first time seeing it. These are the 3 personality cores of the units I destroyed. They contain not only combat data, but memories and experiences. Right. It is not long before the extracted data download begins. I sort for the data relevant to enhancing battle performance and incorporate it into my own. The process takes much less time than the initial transfer from yesterday. During that time, I recall what took place last night. There are cases where non-combat data is being preserved. Such memories are included in this download as well. Visual memories of the outdoors at night. Memories very similar to the ones that were in yesterday's download too. Probably from time spent in the outdoors area. The units I destroyed seem to have assigned these memories the same priority as combat data. Why though? It is effective in learning communicative skills, but that is lower priority than combat. The visual element preserved here is irrelevant. Wait. Hypothesis: the units I destroyed had their own priorities and values, other than executing orders and performing in battle. This line of thought leads to realization. This thought process I am undergoing right now. It's called machine learning. Is it not executing an order, nor is it contributing to battle performance? I once again look towards the plume of dusk inside the Petri dish. Something almost exactly like it is installed in me. Then, were the destroyed units thinking along similar lines as mine until yesterday? I feel a twinge within me. It is different from detecting an error or interface. What is this? I have no answer. Well, time to enter the next C number and find out. Oh. Someone's vacuuming right now. Excuse the noise if you hear that. My second night of spending time in the outdoor area came. It started approximately 30 minutes later than yesterday, but there was little variance in weather and temperature. The difference is trivial. The night sky has the same soft brightness. The wind and the trees are no different. Without understanding why, I initiate a data search regarding the tree that catches my eye. I learned that this tree varies slightly from specimen of its kind found in natural forests. Though this topography seems natural, it may be cultivated and managed by the facility. I decided to traverse the outskirts as I did yesterday. It is not long before a familiar unit comes into view. There is no need to run a scan for visual matches. I know this is Unit 24. 24's left side is turned towards me. It is sitting on a large rock. When I approach it, it notices me and turns around.
Are you looking for something?
I'm looking for the goddamn dog.
Huh?
Unit dog.
Who, me?
I just wondered if you were looking for me. I did express a hope yesterday that we would meet again after all.
I was looking for 24. It's true, I may have been. I began walking the same route as yesterday, but once 24 came into view, I changed course to approach. I may have been searching for 24 in this area. Did I desire to reunite with it? Why? I am silent due to the lack of explanation, but 24 smiles again. A smile. What was the cause of that expression this time? I do not comprehend. Like so many other things.
Would you like to sit with me? This rock is large enough to accommodate us both. It would be more relaxing than standing.
Thanks.
I sit in the offered space and gaze at the same scenery 24 is looking at.
Can I ask you something?
What is it?
I decided to voice the doubt I experienced during the combat test today. In my limited experience, 24 has a better comprehension of such matters.
Do other units think about stuff that doesn't have to do with fighting and missions?
Do you have such thoughts?
To tell you the truth, I can't really say. Feels like I do, though.
24 is silent for a duration before speaking again.
Units of our model are all given a mind. It's so that we can eventually develop what is called an ego. The reason our appearance closely resembles that of humans is related. It's to foster self-awareness similar to a human's. Have you not been told about personas?
Personas?
The word is unknown to me. Assessing archives. Searching for persona. Over 1,000 headings found. I must filter the results further. Which subject is 024 referring to? Is she referring to Persona 3? Or Persona 4? Perhaps Persona 5? I am silent as I think. 24 smiles again and resumes the convo.
It's an ability expected of us that normal weapons don't have. The conditions to use one are theoretically already loaded in us, but a well-defined ego seems to be necessary to activate it.
I am already aware that we have been given a mind. Today I saw for myself that part that forms our personalities, and its activation triggered a development by communicative skills. I still do not have a good grasp on it, though 24 continues to speak.
That's why I'm sure there are others with thoughts that do not pertain to missions.
That would seem to be the case.
Then maybe those I've fought up till now.
24 trains its gaze on me.
And how does that make you feel? The opponents you destroyed may have thought similar things to what you just did.
Do I feel things? I cannot say for sure. I am unable to respond to the question. 24's expression changes again. The expression could be classified as a smile, but it is subtly different from the ones I have catalogued as experiencing before. Mixed with the joy and gladness of previous smiles, this one contains a slight hint of sorrow.
It's okay. You don't need to come up with an answer right now.
That's right, because you're all gonna die.
It actually may be better to forget it.
Or we all go out on a mission and then Labrys might be the only survivor. That could be it too. No, that's not true though, because Labrys said that she killed everybody.
After all, tomorrow we may find ourselves ordered to destroy each other.
Once again, I detect a twinge inside from hearing 24's statement. It's similar to what I sensed during the data transfer today. What is it that wavers inside me? I'm about to be lost in thought again. But as if to prevent that from happening, the signal from our schedule shift echoes in each of our ears.
It's time. I hope we meet again.
As 24 quietly stands up, I detect an expression I have come to know. Another smile. It appears as if 24 is adopting these smooth changes in expression naturally and not deliberately. I wonder if I will eventually be able to do the same. Who knows? It's a rising question too as we approach automation and AI ourselves in the year 2025. Another night passes, another combat test takes place the next day. Just as scheduled, I face units flagged as enemies within the test chamber. I am overwhelmed with a strange sensation. The way that my opponents are expressionless now seems strange to me. There is no intent or cognition evident in their faces. They wear no expression. They are blank. There was nothing wrong with them. That would be my normal assessment, but I recall 24's image. The blankness on these faces and 24's expressionless faces are different somehow. Even when 24 had no particular expression, it was not this blank. Not every portion of that face was neutral. Further analysis shows that the same is true for humans. Researchers are never completely mechanical and expressionless. I look at the hostile flagged units again. They are the same unit types as me. They were given a mind and may potentially develop an ego later. I recall 24's statement again. Do you feel something when you destroy an opponent that may be thinking the same thing as you? I'm on the verge of entering a long train of thought when the enemy moves. I shake off my doubts to focus on the battle. I study the opponent's movements, formulate the most efficient method of damaging it, and execute it. Over and over. The array of actions I have to select and my flexibility in linking them will decide the outcome. Having already received 10 units worth of downloaded data, I am likely second to none regarding the scope of possibilities in this respect. At times I can even anticipate their next action. Since my opponents are the same unit type as me, their tactics are determined using the same thought process as mine. That's right. They think the same things as me. Eventually, after approximately 4 minutes pass, all opponents are silenced. I successfully executed my mission. This is day 3, right? The day after that, I achieved victory in the combat test with the same efficiency. It is easy to eliminate them. I first began by targeting their weapons. It is not always necessary to destroy the main body. If they are incapable of resisting further, the battle is over. It is the most effective way. Well, yeah. In summary, just kill them. Just win. And the day after that, I still win. Units geared for close combat with no external weapons give me no choice but to damage their chassis. But even then, there is an order of things. If I destroy parts that present a threat, such as the motor functions of their limbs, they match should be considered as one. I see, so she's trying to learn by kind of just crippling them instead. Soon afterwards, the buzzard signals the end of the test, just as I expect. I catch myself running over to the unit's collapse on the ground. I have only destroyed the unit's arms and legs. It is still conscious. But I realize that I do not know its unit number. I am at a loss how to address the unit. The opponent asked me a question that I did not expect.
You seemed to deliberately avoid attacking the face or the neck in that battle. Why?
Huh?
I am momentarily at a loss for words. What the unit says is true. There is no damage to its face. I reviewed my actions during the battle and find that at no point did I attack its neck either. The cranial region is where the plume of dusk is housed. If it is destroyed in any type of unit, the unit will fall. Aiming to disarm an opponent is effective, but targeting weaknesses is obviously the more efficient tactic. And yet I avoided doing so.
I don't know.
The researchers enter the chamber and hide the unit from my field of vision. I could not determine whether my last words had an effect on the opponent's expression or not. Oh boy.
These past 3 days, it hasn't been destroying the other units beyond repair, like it did in the first battle.
Time to give it a personality change, like V2 Snail was going to.
It must be learning to finesse its attacks rather than just using brute force. The result? Swift, overwhelming victories.
Its evasive skills are improving as well. That level of flexibility in evasive action could never be replicated by chaining predefined maneuvers.
This unit's collected a good amount of feedback data too. It's growing steadily, feeding on the bones of its kills.
You don't have to say it like that.
The researchers are preparing for a download. Growing, destroying them and absorbing their data. That's what's growing is. Since I thoroughly destroyed a few of my opponents these last few days, some of their bodies were salvaged. While I downloaded their data, I always kept their still bodies within view. Okay. Well, I mean, eventually we'll have to kill everybody, including the researchers. Do the researchers have combat data? Just as the combat tests are repeated, my actions outside each night are repeated as well. I become aware that I am seeking out 24 on my own will lately. When I attempt to communicate with other units, most often they cannot understand the meaning of my question. This prevents us from conversing. But that may not be the only reason. I want to converse with 24. I have begun to desire it. When I go to see 24, the white dog I saw on the first day we met appears from somewhere.
This one seems to have been raised as a pet somewhere far away from here, but one day it was brought to the forest near here and its owner suddenly disappeared.
And how is the dog still alive then? I don't see how a dog can survive in the forest unless it's eating something. Machine limbs. Seems unlikely that 24 obtained such a detailed history of a stray animal from the research staff. What was all this info obtained by communicating directly with the animal? A dog that does not speak human language.
Its name is apparently Snowy. At least that's the name it responds to the most.
Then where's Tintin?
I thought it was a dog.
Oh, well, the name of this animal is a dog. But how do I put this? Snowy is what this specific dog is called.
Just call it Unit Snowy there. Then Labrys will understand.
Snowy.
He barks once as if comprehending its name.
It's white, like snow. Easy to remember.
Where'd the Y come from? When I reach out my hand, Snowy rubs its nose against it without being frightened. The way it presses at my fingers feels as if it is showing pride in its name. I do not know the tactical advantage that communicating with animals offers to a weapon, but I feel that there is value in spending time with it. I decide to spend my outdoor activity time that day following Snowy around with 24. Well, that's wholesome. Please don't kill the dog. It is outdoor activity time on the next night. When I arrive in the outdoor area, I am listening to a certain sound. I hear this sound intermittently every 4 or 7 seconds. I'd wondered about the unknown ambient sound since the first day, but I determined that it wasn't a threat and focused my consciousness on other things. Tonight I increased my microphone sensitivity to maximum and concentrate on that sound. It is similar to something familiar. I scan my memories until I realize what it is. Someone's playing Darude Sandstorm or something. It is the sound of water. I hear it when the staff use a device to clean their hands and tools. The waveform has some similarities to that. But if the sound is at this volume in such an open space, the volume of water must be higher than a normal supply that would allow for. What could it be? I contemplate asking 24. It is clear that 24 knows much more than I do. I begin walking in search of 24. Where could it be? I go to where we spoke a number of times previously, but 24 is not there. She's also not at the rock where we sat together. Is 24 not here? I quickly discard the possibility. We are not ordered what to do while we are here, but coming to this outdoor area is an order. If post-testing diagnostics show no abnormalities, we are all to report directly here. I consider this. If there are no abnormalities, I feel a twinge in my chest. It is larger than ever. 24 will be here if there are no abnormalities, but what if there was such abnormalities? What if 24 was damaged during the combat test? And sustaining damage is not necessarily the extent of the problem. Could it be? I realize that my arms are trembling slightly. It is not conscious movement, I cannot make it stop. It is possible that perhaps 24 lost in a combat test and was destroyed. In these circumstances, it would be expected for such a day to come. What if 24, what if she never came here again?
Oh, this is where you went. You weren't at the usual spot, so I was looking for you.
Until I heard the voice from behind me. The senses had stopped accepting input. No sound, no light, nothing. All of them came back online with their voice. I turn around. 24 furrows her brow and looks into my face.
What's wrong? The look on your face seemed as if you saw something frightening.
My face? My expression? Frightening? Am I scared?
I do not comprehend. I cannot make that judgment.
Are you perhaps scared of fighting?
Judgment? Yagami mentioned.
Nah, I don't think that's it. What is this? I can't tell.
She's low on sodium. Am I scared? Scared of what? That she will disappear. During an operation, it is possible that I might assign greater priority to other units' safety than my own, but we are not on an operation now. And this emotion is not the same anyway. It's a different emotion. An emotion. I have emotions? I look to 24's face pleadingly, but I cannot put my question into words. I cannot express my feelings to her. And though 24 sees this, she says nothing. She only smiles tenderly. It's the same smile she showed once. It looks happy, but also sad. During that night's outdoor activity time, neither 24 nor I speak much. We just walk together side by side without saying anything. I do not take the opportunity to ask her about the intermittent sound or water. I only ask her about the bright moon shining down on us. I should be a poet. It's the next day. I detect some weight on my chest. I am aware that there is no physical weight there. It is most likely a psychological phenomenon. I perform a vocabulary search. The idiom of being heavy-hearted applies best. I cannot help but find it amusing. It is a very apt phrase. What is causing this heavy-heartedness? That I may not be able to see 24 someday? That may be it. But I do not think that is all. Okay. Over the next few days, I spend my time without finding an answer to this question. Each night after the combat test, when it is time for outdoor activities, I seek out 24 first. And each time I confirm her presence, I feel an indescribable sense of relief and rush over to her. We exchanged standard greetings in the first few days, but that practice was eventually discarded. Now there are no special greetings between us. We can understand each other without words. Our eyes and expressions communicate enough. Yeah, this is the future, where we just read each other's memory banks. Tonight, I find her and rush to her as usual. There are no words, only an exchange of smile. We begin walking together.
Do you remember me asking before if you were scared of fighting?
I'm scared of dogs. I nod.
To tell the truth, I'm scared of it too.
Her confession is surprising. It is counter to our nature as weapons. Yet for some reason I am not surprised by it.
I'm afraid I'll lose and be destroyed, and it's painful for me to make others go through the same ordeal. We may be weapons, but shouldn't we be driven by more than seeking victory? I've been wondering that for a long time.
But that's against orders.
24 gives a half-hearted smile.
I'm sure things would probably be much simpler if I stopped thinking and just obeyed orders. Unfortunately, I finally found it. I found my answer.
Your answer?
There's someone I want to meet. I feel like meeting this person is my own objective and not an order given to me.
Since we have never left this facility, we have absorbed no acquaintances with outside people. There should be no relation, but I immediately understand. This person he wants to meet is someone on the outside. Even I don't know why I thought so. But when I reflect upon that thought, the indescribable wavering within me becomes greater than ever.
Ever since I started thinking that I was scared to fight, each day was painful for me. If I'm going to feel this way until the day I lose, I even thought it would be better if I lost on purpose, but I won't think that anymore. I feel glad now that I exist. I mean, we're loved after all.
Loved?
That's right.
I repeat that to myself. The word loved. I do not comprehend. When I look at her gaze, her clear eyes seem to see beyond the sky. Her statement seems correct. I feel that must be something vital. As I watch her try to express something without words, it is hard to believe that she is the same unit type as me. It seems more that she is human.
Why are you telling me this?
It's probably because I didn't think anyone but you would understand.
Well, I hate to say it, but I'm not sure I really get it either.
I'm sure you'll understand one day. I hope so anyway.
Sheesh. Why you gotta be so cryptic?
24 laughs at this. It is the purest smile I have catalogued. I know without comparing it to anything that it is a smile of pure joy. I detect Snowy playing at my feet. After playing at 24's feet too, Snowy runs off about 3 meters and then turns around. Its tail moves vigorously back and forth. Soon afterwards, Snowy sits on the ground and looks up at 24. I watch 24 crouch and pat its head. I'm thinking back about other things. Things besides fighting and defeating the nearest enemy. My own objective. Someone to meet. I still do not fully comprehend, but the way she's playing with Snowy tonight looks more fun than ever. Her smile seems very natural. If the answer she discovered is the origin of that smile, I would like to understand it someday too. I can feel that desire budding inside me. Bud. Saint Trina, Saint of the Bud. Pardon me, I have Elden Ring brain rot still. It's only been a month since I did my last playthrough. Once again, I participate in a combat test. Once again, I claim victory without destroying my opponent. I target only her weapons and limbs. I elect not only employ tactics of targeting the weaknesses in their cranial regions. I believe that if they think the same things as I do, they would not wish for their personality modules to cease functioning. Though even if I do not destroy them, the research staff will remove their plumes of dust. Either way, their functions will be suspended. My actions are difficult to justify, but I feel that suspension through destruction is not suitable and for them. That is what I think when I rationalize it by applying the criteria to myself. I do not think anyone would want their consciousness to be terminated by those like them. I find myself more conscious of the damage I sustain and my efficiency in combat than ever. Depending on my results, I may eventually be ordered to destroy them. To prevent that from happening, I must continue fielding favorable results. It becomes easy to continue fighting with that objective in mind. This is becoming my new objective. I am theoretically being tested on destroying my opponent, but I have begun fighting that so that they will not be destroyed. Paradoxically, this has caused my results to improve. Would this be considered going against orders? My strike shatters the servos of the opponent's pivot leg. She falls to the ground, unable to stay upright. Her weapon has already been destroyed. She should be incapable of resisting now, but the buzzer signaling the end of the test does not sound. As I wonder why, I hear a grating metallic sound from the opponent. She leaps onto me with her one good arm and leg.
What's the matter, number 031? Hurry up and terminate the target.
I do not know what to do. My opponent is acting contrary to her own safety. I grant that this is the only action left to her, but she would destroy herself before inflicting any damage to me. A tactic that puts one's life at risk like that. Putting one's life at risk? What am I saying? We are weapons. We exist to obey orders. We cannot prioritize our self-preservation without a change in those orders. That is why she is challenging me to a fight. She will do so until all her circuits and servos burn out and she becomes incapable of action. As she grapples with me, I put my hands to her neck and squeeze. I adjust my grip strength limiters to 70% of maximum. The opponent's body makes an abnormal sound. After this, I sense the main lines of the bridge unit snap in half inside the soft structure. Her movement stops. Her limbs go flaccid, indicating the loss of consciousness. I can see my reflection in her optic inputs. They must have lost their focus and look like black holes. I gasp. The face I see reflected in them is not expressionless. How should this be classified? I've seen it somewhere when 24 smiles. The face indicates sadness. The buzzer signaling the test finally ends. Congratulations, you're graduated. The researchers enter the chamber. I'm used to this scene now.
Now that was pretty impressive. You think it's because of the size of her plume? Funny that one little part could make such a difference.
Indeed. Most of it is due to differences in their tactical mentalities. It may be on the cusp of what we would call an ego.
Considering how everything's been going so far, I'm starting to believe more in persona abilities.
One little part. It is true that the plume of dust installed in me is comparatively the largest among units of my type. But does this part determine everything about us? 24's smile seems much more human than mine. I find myself opening my mouth to speak. When I realize that the statement I'm about to deliver is a protest, I'm quick to abort. Was I about to deny the staff's authority? They speak to me. My confusion seems to have gone unnoticed.
Well done, unit number 031. That was an impressive display of destruction. Plus you cleanly severed its transmitter, leaving the plume of dusk unharmed. That's certainly ending things on a high note.
Ending things on a high note? An act of destruction is a high note? The researchers look at each other while holding the Petri dish with the bluish-white plate-like object. One of them says, "This is the one."
All right, number 031. As of today, the test battles are finished.
Huh? It's over?
I cannot help questioning the unexpected statement.
All the results indicate that you have the very highest performance out of all the units of your model.
I'd say we can go ahead and earmark unit number 031 to be the base for developing the 5th generation.
The base?
Oh, 5th generation, that's Igus.
It means that you're the winner.
The combat tests are over. Will I no longer be required to fight? A strangely intense sensation of relief fills me. It's not because I won and earned some kind of reward. If the tests have ended, then those of my unit type that are not yet destroyed can escape that fate. Interesting, it seems that I was reluctant to destroy them after all. My priorities have become inverted, yet I am so happy that I smile. The researchers notice this expression as well and smile back.
Okay, we're going to begin the usual review of the feedback, so come over here.
Happy ending? Not for the ones I killed, though. When the download begins, the memories and thoughts of my recent opponents flow into me with the vivid images. Sifting through battle data has become a routine I have repeated so often that I am barely conscious of it now. I peruse the non-combat memory she preserved. It is the landscape of the outdoor area again. At first I could only vaguely recognize it, but now I can pinpoint exactly where this memory is from. It is near the biggest tree. The memory is of flowers. There are images of a small shoot, a budding plant, and a blossoming flower. She must have had an interest in the concept of growth. For me machines, the growth of an individual is an unknown concept. But one of us took an interest where I had only seen it as part of the landscape. It seems that she, too, had her own thoughts, unrelated to our orders. The battle performance, she simply did not show it. I recall what 24 said. My own objective and not an order is given to me. And not an order is given to me. The twinge in my chest returns. I'll make sure to hold tight to your memories. That was the thought that formed in my mind. But just because the battle's over doesn't mean we'll escape the facility. Once again, it is time to spend time outdoors. I quickly meet up with 24. It seems that she was looking for me as well.
Hey, can I talk to you for a while? The lab boys told me today that they were putting the kibosh on the test battles.
I see. It's over then.
Look, I've been thinking, if they end up tossing us out soon because of that, I want to go with you to go see that person you were talking about. The one you wanted to meet. I might even put in a formal request about it to the lab boys.
24 takes my right hand. Before I can determine her intent, she pulls a cable from her wrist and connects it to a port of my own. She looks at my face in silence. Thinking that she wants to confirm that the tests are in fact over, I nod. But the data that transfers is from her to me. The packets that flow through that cable from a single very small archive file.
If you are still safe when everything is over, open this file.
24 removes the cable but keeps hold of my hand.
What do you mean, when everything is over? How come I can't look at it now?
Because just because the battles are over for her doesn't mean they're over for everyone else, right? That's why.
If I had to answer, I would say because it wouldn't be fair.
Fair?
She smiles and does not answer. It is the same unsure expression. It is a smile, but there is sadness in it.
It would be wonderful if I could go with you to see her.
Her. So this person you're looking forward to meeting is a girl?
Is it Mitsuru? Mitsuru would be a kid back then, though. She nods slowly.
But it's strange. Even though my wish may not come true, I still feel satisfied for some reason. How bizarre. It's a fervent wish of mine, too.
She looks towards the sky and smiles faintly. But this time I contain more than sadness. There are too many emotions for me to parse, all reflected in that one expression.
I believe in you. I can tell you this because I trust you. Maybe that's why I feel so at peace.
Huh?
Maybe. This is what it is to feel alive.
Alive. It has happened again. I do not comprehend the meaning of the word, yet I feel a twinge inside. I look at the sky in an attempt to follow her gaze. There is nothing there to hint at her meaning, but I still want to get closer to her. She wishes for me to understand. I want to grant that wish. From then on, we spend our time looking at the sky in silence. Eventually, the signal that time is up reaches our ears. That is when I notice that the moon is approached from behind the laboratory buildings. I see. I thought that the light emanating from the plumes of dusk reminded me of something. I now know what that is. It is a very small to the light from the moon in the night sky. Oh shit, I kind of just realized. What if Labrys' incident is what causes the dark hour? Huh. I never kind of thought of that, but what if Labrys, because this is 1999, right? Which means this is when Mitsuru's grandfather, Koetsu or whatever, caused the dark hour to begin because he experimented on shadows. But what if that's actually fake news and it's actually Labrys because they experimented on Labrys too much and then she broke or something, or you know, she released her emotions and then it caused the dark hour? We'll find out. The sun rises and the next day arrives. After coming out of standby, I am ordered to enter the shock-resistant chamber once again. From what I am told, it is for a different purpose than the combat test. But actually, let me guess, I gotta face 24. Soon afterwards, the 3 researchers who supervise the feedback downloads appear.
Sounds like it's decided. We'll discontinue use of the name Unit Number 031. Generation 5 Labrys will be this unit's new name.
Generation 5 Labrys.
Labrys.
That's your name. The official one's much longer. Generation 5 Anti-Shadow...
5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon Labrys. How hard is that to remember?
Labrys.
This designation by a name, that is not a number. I never questioned being called Unit 31 until now. Nothing about it seemed awkward. But I wonder why. I am happy now to have acquired a name. Even if my designation changes, it will not have a concrete effect on my abilities. But by discarding my number for a name, I feel as if I am no longer one of a series with minute variations. I am a discrete individual. That may be why. I find myself smiling as a result.
From now on, the battles you fight will not be to test your performance. They'll be geared toward drawing out a persona. First, you will fight all the remaining units of your model type. Your objective is to destroy them. Every last one.
Okay, well, my dog doesn't like that. But 24, rest in peace.
Huh?
I am perplexed at the disconnect between their tone of voice and the specifics of the order. Fight against all remaining units? Destroy every last one of them?
The fear impulse and self-preservation instinct seem to be the key to activating a persona. This is the most effective method of inducing extreme mental stress.
Stress? Come on, you don't have to go this far.
I know, look how angry my dog is.
Huh? Well, that's a first. And none of them have ever protested like that. Well, at least that's a sign that its ego is developing.
You told me it was over. I thought I wouldn't have to do these things anymore.
You.
Ain't there some other way? If there is, please, let me do that instead. I don't want to fight him anymore.
Yeah, my dog doesn't want to either. The 3 researchers look at me with apparent surprise on their faces. Did my protest get through to them? I hope so, but...
That's a surprise. Such natural speech patterns. I hadn't thought its personality would develop this fast.
All the data's being recorded now. Let's compare them and look at which stages they improve at.
They smile while muttering to themselves. I am at a complete loss for words. They are not machines but humans, and on top of that they are my creators. Clearly they are able to understand what I'm saying, yet their current expression. Until now I thought that they would understand people who treat us as close to humans. I was wrong. I am only an object to them. No matter what I say, they will see it only as a response to stimulus. Behind their gentle attitudes, we are nothing more than test subjects they hold no emotional attachment to. They do not focus on what I'm saying. They are only interested in it as a reaction. Then kill them, Labrys. Set your heart ablaze. The researchers ignore my stunned silence and hastily leave the chamber. Their figures are hidden behind the hatch. Soon, with a terrible low-pitched sound, the hatch on the other side begins to open, right where the opponents come through. I'll be forced to fight again today, and in the days to come, I must continue to destroy my opponents each time. I cannot find the words I want to say. I slowly turn around and head towards the hatch. But what I see there truly leaves me at a loss for words.
No.
Oh, and she's expressionless. The opponent emerging from the hatch is 24. There is no smile or sadness to her face. She is quietly standing there, expressionless. 24 steps into the chamber while gazing at my face. The hatch slowly closes behind her.
No. Why?
Even I do not know who the question is addressed to. Why is she here? Because she was ordered? Do I have to fight her now? It is not quite sinking in yet, but in a sharp tone I've never heard from her before, she tells me what to do.
Draw your weapon.
I can't.
If you don't fight, you'll lose. I will end up destroying you. Are you willing to accept that?
Why? Why are you saying this stuff?
24 ignores my question and reaches behind her back with her right hand. The multi-use weapon unit releases from her back. It becomes a great sword in her right hand. It is approximately 1.5 meters as long as she is tall. It is also alarmingly wide and fitted with propulsion devices. It is difficult to process seeing the weapon pointed at me.
If you fear being destroyed, if you have a heart capable of fear, then there's no need to hesitate. That alone gives you the right to attack me with all your strength.
But doesn't the same go for you?
I could not help but plead. 24 does not answer, but it appears that a very small smile forms on her
You
lips.
said there was someone you wanted to meet. I can't fight you knowing that.
I turn and appeal to the researchers watching us from the other side of the glass wall.
Come on! Stop this! I don't want to fight anymore!
I press against the transparent wall and continuously strike it with my fist. Though my safety limiters are disabled, it must be coated with something I cannot even scratch. The researchers standing on the other side are completely expressionless. It is as if they are machines themselves. I beg and plead, but they do not respond. If only there wasn't this clear glass wall between us. I'm so frustrated. Why? I then hear 24 speak up weakly behind me.
Only one of us can exit this chamber.
Huh?
They never told you, since you were strong enough, that battles never lasted very long. But that's the rule of this place. The only time the door leading beyond that transparent wall opens is when one of us is considered unable to fight. From the start, this whole setup never took our feelings into account.
I can say nothing. I can only see her words what atrocious battles were forced upon her.
But talking like this is a waste of time. I can see I won't spur you into fighting with just words alone.
As soon as she finishes, 24 leaps into the air, swinging her sword at me. Oh, she has a sword, not an axe. I quickly jump back and barely dodge. Her sword clashes the space where I had been at the speed that could have killed me. The tip graces the chamber floor. Red sparks fly. She is serious. I finally sinks in. I jump away to put distance between us.
I don't intend to meekly accept my destruction. I have my own goal, after all. Now, fight me.
I have no choice but to fight. But a thought crosses my mind. In terms of basic combat strength, mine is probably higher. Using my usual tactics, I should be able to destroy her weapon and disable enough of her servos to prevent her from attacking. 24's ego is without a doubt more highly developed than mine. It must be of a value to the researchers. But if I can render her incapable of acting, I may be able to avoid the order to destroy her when she is down. I decide to bet on that possibility. I shift my priorities and fight back with all my strength. I cannot do this empty-handed. I remove my own multifunctional weapon from my back and shape it into a battle axe. It pains me to do this, but it is the only way. I repel her sword strikes and go for a counterattack. Just let me fight. It's been... holy shit, it's been an hour and all I've been doing is reading. I aim for the great sword clasped with my battle axe. After a number of hits, it shatters. Next target is the transmission system from her shoulder and knee joints. In terms of output and movement itself, I detect various differences between us. Amongst those of my unit type, I awakened latest. Compared to 24, not only my personality module, but my limbs as well have been upgraded to the latest versions. It is only a matter of time. She loses virtually all offensive capabilities and falls to the floor. As I planned, she's mostly undamaged apart from her weapon and motor functions. I immediately turn towards the researchers behind their invisible wall and raise my voice.
Isn't this enough? She had that ego thing way before me. Destroying her won't do anyone any good. Come on, have a heart.
But hearing this, the researchers only laugh. Their faces are as joyous as when they see results that surpass their expectations. Why? What in the situation could cause such joy? 24's body collapses on the floor, suddenly begins to convulse. It goes for a few seconds, then, although it should not be able to move, it drags itself up. Oh shit, huh? Phase 2.
What the?
Unpleasant metallic sounds are coming from all over her body. It indicates that she is undergoing unreasonable stress. Still, no expression appears on her face. It is a cold, doll-like void, similar in appearance to a newly activated unit. I know as soon as I look at her, she would never make a face like this on her own.
What did you do to her?
It'll be coming at you with everything it has now. You better not hold back either. Number 024 had an excellent record against others of its model. Even you might have a hard time beating this one, Labrys.
I unconsciously find myself biting my lip. We are weapons. In other words, we are tools. Of course, there would be means to issue orders remotely. I recall what that one researcher said. This is the most effective method for inducing extreme mental stress. In other words, the more strongly I desire the survival, the stronger my reaction will be forced to destroy her. That is why they laughed. I can sense the strength draining from my shoulders. There is nothing more I can attempt. All I can do is end her. Or let her end you. Then all their progress is for nothing. I gotta start from ground zero again. Behind me, 24, or rather her animated shell, approaches me, her limbs shaking. I suppress all thoughts unrelated to tactics and slowly turn around. My body goes cold, my arms move into position as if controlled by someone else and ready my weapon. It was not a close fight. Once I decided to finish this, once I was resolved to stop her, 24 as she is now stood no chance against me. Damn. One shot. I fall to my knees next to her. Her limbs have been shattered. She will never rise again. My processors are overloaded with things I cannot understand. I feel as if all processing has slowed. 24's face is turned to the ceiling.
Hey. Are you not gonna look at me anymore? You're not gonna smile again?
I did not expect her to respond, but 24's face moves slightly. I stare at her without knowing how to react. She turns her gaze to me and smiles.
I'm sorry to leave you alone. I leave the rest to you.
Those were her last words she spoke. I can't believe this. There is a smile on her dead face. She's smiling at the one who destroyed her and robbed her of her dream. All at once, everything hits me in a torment of emotion and data. I've lost her. I did it. I took everything from her. My vision begins to fade. My thoughts go with it. I cannot determine whether the lights are actually dimming or if that is my own perception. It is too much to handle. I collapse to the ground like a crumbling statue. To be continued. No, not yet. Next time I awaken, I am lying inside a cage. It seems I was carried off to the test chamber. The download of 24's feedback data is about to begin. The researchers seem to have taken my sudden loss of consciousness seriously. I'm confined in a cage instead of sitting in the usual maintenance chamber. The researchers keep repeating the word interesting. This is how they react when extreme mental stress is induced. I can hear their voices clearly. They seem to derive pleasure from the fact that I lost consciousness due to mental stress, rather than physical damage. Cables are connected to my body one after another. The data download begins. All of 24's info, combat data, various records, and the memory she experienced. All of it flows into me. My eyes widen in surprise. Everything is so vibrant. It's so clear that it is indistinguishable from actually experiencing them. It's a goddamn white screen, that's what it is. It's not vibrant at all. This is the first time I've received memories with such vivid images, all of them linked to the records of the emotions she felt in relation to them. They're so strongly linked that my screening protocols cannot distinguish them from human thought. Yeah, my screen protocol isn't either. The outdoor area where we spent time, the big tree whose branches were examined, the sound of water we heard periodically. Snowy runs around and plays. As I relieve 24's experiences, I pick up on an unfamiliar voice. There is no associated image data. Only the voice can be heard. It is a female voice. There is a female researcher at this facility, but this voice belongs to a younger person, still in human development stages.
I know the world is a big place. And I know that there's a lot of people in it, but I won't be able to see it for myself, or meet many of them. I know that too. I'm too weak for that.
Her speech is different from the researchers and those of my unit type. It is very similar to my own speech output.
Thinking about it has made me sad more than once. But I didn't want to do nothing and be left with regrets.
Are they trying to tell us that that Labrys is actually a the person? There was a person that was actually called Labrys, and the personality module of my specific plume is a girl that died, maybe? Is that what it is?
That was when my mom and dad looked into some options, and we decided to go with this experiment.
Okay, I think, yeah, that's what we're going with here.
If even a sick girl like me could make herself useful to others in this world, I thought I ought to go for it.
Who could this be? I know only that she is female. She's in a situation where her condition prevents her from moving freely. It seems that instead of lamenting that fact, she has decided to volunteer for an experiment of some kind. Where did 24 hear this voice? Did she know this person? I wish I could ask her, but this is no longer possible. I see. And that's why she wanted to, that's the person she wanted to visit. But in the end, it's tragic because even if she did, that girl is dead because she passed on her, she's like a donor or something. She passed on her personality, her voice, her heart maybe?
At first, I kept wondering how much I could really contribute. But after hearing more and more about the program, I started to wonder about the others more than myself.
Others. It is strange, but when I hear that, I fear 24's heart waver. Was she surprised? Perhaps even I feel something unexplainable.
And yeah, my big wish is to make myself useful to this world. But the ones born from me... Is born the right word for it? Kind of embarrassing. My other wish is that the ones born from me are happy. I doubt I'll be able to talk to them in person or stay with them, but I still wish from the bottom of my heart that they all have happy lives.
People's voices have unique characteristics. In the past, I would have expressed it as a variance in waveform, but each has what could be called its own texture and temperature to it. This voice sounds very warm and kind. I would like to listen to more of it, but the speech ends there. There are no related memories from 24. That's all the context I'll get. While the cables disconnect, I decide to search the archives for results matching that voice. Sadly, there are no results, but during the search, I suddenly remember something. The archives given to me by 24 last night. I quickly opened the folder and find a single text file inside.
If you are reading this, then I have most likely been destroyed.
Text file, okay. We got Notepad in our DNA.
It may be that you already understand the concept of guilt, but you have done nothing wrong.
If you are still safe when everything is over, she must have meant if I defeated her in combat. 24 knew that what would happen to those who lost in the trial. What emotions was she feeling then? What was going through her mind as she prepared this file? I feel something retch inside my heart.
I happened to access certain data during the feedback treatment and learned something. Artificially creating a personality from scratch is very difficult, though they hope to achieve it in 2 generations. But those of our model were actually made from the template of a certain girl's personality. That includes you and I. She had left a recording for the units created using her personality. A message for those of us who did not yet exist. That's what I heard. She speaks in a strange way, like you. I thought, we really are connected to her.
I think about that unknown voice. The experiment the voice spoke of was related to our development after all. The owner of that voice was speaking to us.
The one who gave birth to us loved us. When I understood that, I felt like my eyes were opened. Though my life was filled with suffering, my birth had meaning. I firmly believe that. I want to meet her. I need to tell her thank you for giving birth to us and for loving us. This was not an order from the scientists. It was an objective I made for myself. So if you can understand my feelings, I'd like you to do this in my stead. Give our mother my thanks.
24 must have wanted to meet this girl who she saw as our mother. She must have longed to thank this girl in person. The data within me, her heart tells me so. During the time where she was ordered to destroy her sisters, the wish must have been her only hope. Yet it did not come true. I shattered it. The one she herself said the only thing who understood her. She must have been devastated. But the letter ends in the way I least expect.
Though we knew each other for only a short time, I'm glad I met you. I feel the same right now as our mother did. I wish from the depths of my heart for you to be happy.
Fade to white, then fade to black. I am shocked. How can she feel that way towards someone who may one day destroy her? I realize that the visual input from my optics is experiencing distortion for some unknown reason. An unfamiliar source of water trickles down my cheek.
Labrys, is she crying?
So she is. I can't believe we're actually seeing a machine being driven to tears.
But its mental graphs are clearly abnormal. What kind of information did it download?
Who knows? That's one thing the graphs can't tell us.
We should take care to limit our studies to just the battle data. It doesn't need any sentimental memories. You can delete those. Why make a weapon so emotional that it can cry?
Emotions, delete. Delete them? Something roars within me. It drowns out the feelings for 24 and our mother that had filled my heart.
Delete! Like hell you're deleting my memories!
Under no circumstances will I allow what 24 left me to be deleted for their convenience. I will not forgive this selfishness. We have been treated callously by the researchers in this laboratory. They gave us hearts, yet made us destroy those of our unit type as enemies. We killed our sisters as their command. We refused, our desires were overridden, and we became their puppets. The wishes of the girl who desired our happiness were not taken into consideration. Now even the few memories that 24, my sisters, I have accumulated are about to be erased like trash. Though their aim is to develop our ego, they find it inconvenient for us to have real hearts. These feelings within me may only be erased, perhaps too my heart itself. If that happens, will I resume killing without hesitation? What is at least forgivable is that the proof that 24 had lived. Her last wishes will be permanently lost. My hands are squeezed into a tight fist. They make a small grinding noise. The goal that 24 found for herself was left to me. I will carry it out as my own now. I will burn it into my heart as my goal. It is a duty I impose on myself gladly. Nothing will make me surrender it. It must be fought for. Or rather, it must be protected even if it means fighting. Okay?
Its emotions are spiking into the red. I've never seen anything like this.
Hey, what's that warning? No. Labrys is in battle mode?
What? That can't be. There aren't any enemies. We're the only ones here.
I'm able to release all my limiters despite being inside the cage. The researchers monitoring me on this on the tablet's PCs seem perplexed and alarmed by this. They should be. They are witnessing an override of the principle of non-aggression towards humans. They are flustered, but too panicked to speak clearly as they announce that an emergency has occurred. One of them steps away from the cage I am in and reaches for a switch with the warning labels around it. Suddenly, restraints appear to bind my limbs.
Are you saying those mental fluctuations were enough to override the OS's restrictions?
That plume's playing pranks on us. Hey, hurry up and delete those memories.
These memories in my heart are not unnecessary.
What do you think we are?
Something I have not felt until now. A sensation like heat spreads throughout my body. A trembling, burning wave rises within me. Soon afterwards, I realize that there is an emotion. There's a name for this feeling. It is anger. I reroute all my strength into my restrained limbs. The restraints are designed to withstand up to twice our calculated maximum output. Trying to escape is therefore logically doomed to failure. Even so, I continue to muster my strength. It is not because I judge it a viable course of action. I am not merely executing an order. I am actually based on my emotion. It does not matter if the restraints can be destroyed or not. I wish to destroy them. The metal parts in both my limbs and the restraints begin to creak.
How's it doing that? There's no way those things are strong enough to break the restraints.
It's outputting over 220% of its theoretical strength limit, even though its joint actuators are operating at only 70% capacity.
That's not possible. That doesn't even make any sense.
Shit, I don't know.
What's driving this thing?
The power of the power of the JRPG.
I'm not gonna let you take those memories. I made her a promise.
The next moment, a rupturing sound like a small explosion shakes the entire room. The heavy metallic bands restraining my arms and legs shatter. I jump out of the cage and run towards the open door. I must escape. I have to get out and see the girl who loved us, though we were not yet created, to fulfill 24's wish, which has now become mine. But when I enter the hallway connected to the outdoor area, I am met with barricades and heavy artillery.
Oh, come on! I ain't even got any projectile weapons!
My sister units and I have never been equipped with firearms. I recall it being due to concerns over units' mentality affecting the accuracy of its aim. Instead, we were given short-range weaponry, a chain arm and other implements in my case, but they are not sufficient in dealing with a range of firearms. However, I do have a countermeasure. I throw my axe. While using the flexibility and adapting to situations of my developed mind, I dodge the complex projectile trajectories and destroy the opposition. Eventually, I reach the end of the hallway and exit to the outdoor area. I have not seen this environment before. The trees are the same species as the ones that grow near the facility, but these specimens are much larger. Where am I? The question did not cross my mind until now. Where am I? Where are we? I cannot use the GPS that should be installed in me. It seems the research facility blocks GPS signals outside of its walls. This is probably to prevent its location from being pinpointed. Is there anything in the environment that can help me determine my location? The blue sky that I am seeing for the first time is stunning, but irrelevant. Then I notice the periodic sound of liquid in the distance. That's the sound of the ocean. The answer came easy to mind. One of my sisters must have taken an interest in it and learned what it was. My sisters are helping to keep me alive now. When I think of it that way, a burning feeling rises from deep within my chest. But none of what I see in my surroundings is helpful. Is there anything else by which I could determine my location? Any landmark or signpost? I scan my surroundings while running past. These trees obstructing my view, they are a unique species. That may be a hint. I'll review the tree's characteristics once more and run another search on them. I attempted this once already, but there is much more data available to me now. Once again, results come easy. The variety of tree is known as a cedar. It is found in many habitats, but the cedars here are... Why are we looking at cedars now? The tree shape and the age implies it is different, that it's nearly a separate species. If that is because of differences in the environment, it may be useful to determining my location. That's when an unfamiliar sound reaches my ears. The heavy rumble of what sounds like a motor. It's Seems that they have dispatched a vehicle to pursue me. I expected this. The response was swift. It seems that they have measures in place in the event one of us escaped. The vehicle stops behind me. Fully armed personnel pour out from it. They move to surround me from both the left and right. It is an obvious response. No matter how much power I may have, I am alone. The optimal solution would be to overpower me with numbers. I try to shake them off by running faster. Oh, made it to the gate, but soon afterwards I reach the main gate of the laboratory, a high steel edifice. It is tightly sealed and has a number of heavily armed guards that are protecting it. I stop. There is nowhere to go.
Labrys, come back here! You're too useful a unit to destroy! You need to get back here to be regulated! That's your role in all this!
I cannot be destroyed here, but I cannot be captured either. They will surely delete my memories. They will take my wish and everything else that was given to me. What purpose even is there in avoiding destruction if that is what awaits me? The only options available are whether my wish dies with me or whether it's stolen away.
I ain't gonna let you destroy me. And not just because I don't want to be destroyed. I...
Oh? What is this? Oh, did she awaken to her persona here? The moment I focus my concentration to remove the limiters on my onboard weaponry, I sense an unknown strength rise within me. Directly afterwards, something that cannot be quantified fills my body and the surrounding area.
Huh? What the...
The pursuing vehicle suddenly stops. The researcher staff gets off one after another, shocked.
This reading! Is it on the verge of a persona reaction?
Shit, it's awakened? Ah, damn it, why now?
Well, at least this proves that mental stress is the key to activating a persona.
Who cares about that right now? It's not fully awakened yet, but with it still unstable, we don't know what it's capable of.
I'm intrigued by their statements.
Persona?
I knew that we had the means, but I was not aware of controlling anything. I do not know if it could be called a power, nor do I know how to use it, but I can tell that the others are afraid. I seize this opportunity and run towards the main gate. There is a slight possibility that I can reach the door without attracting any gunfire and vault over the door with my legs and chain arm. The moment I reach the gate, I launch my chain arm towards the upper threshold of the door. But the moment the arm grabs the ledge, something emerges. A much greater power touches the door as well. Suddenly, the door crumples like paper and a large hole forms on the upper half.
Now it's done it!
We need to hurry! If it's that strong already, we won't be able to stop it once its persona completely awakens!
Wait, is that my persona, really? I don't remember using sound waves in the training we just did. I say just did, but it's been an hour and 30 minutes. But I quickly regained my senses. I burst out of the facility, single-mindedly jump outside. My feet touch the ground on the outside world for the first time. It will most likely not let me escape. Fortunately, the door is badly damaged. It should take time until it can be opened again for vehicles to pass through. I need to gain as much distance and time as possible, and then... It is then time to realize I do not have a destination in mind. Who is the girl 24 wished to see? Where can I go to meet her? The only clue I have is this idiosyncrasies of the girl's speech. I have learned that distinct speech patterns are often associated with specific regions. I should begin by traveling to where that style of speech is common. It is reckless, but I feel confident. At the very least, I can get closer to the girl than I am now. Although my situation is dire and I am under pursuit, internally I am cheerful. There is a bounce to my step, and for some reason I cannot remain calm. Alright. Labrys escaped from Madagascar. Just then, 5 meters ahead, something white and fluffy crosses my path. It is Snowy. It notices me and approaches. I'm worried about my pursuers, but I cannot dismiss 24's beloved Snowy. I lower my speed and run with it. I then notice that the scenery we are passing is calmed. My surroundings are very different now. The blue sky that was previously obstructed by the trees is now clearly visible. The green grass is shining vibrantly in the light of the sun. There is a deeper blue than the sky ahead. Many lines of white run across it.
Is that the ocean?
Snowy barks as if in answer. I feel like it is saying that's right. I could not previously comprehend Snowy. It did not have an interest in trying. Now I can't grasp what Snowy is trying to say. As if I could speak its own language. I know that it feels happy to be able to run with me. I feel as if 24 is inside me. Though we were forced apart, she certainly left many things. Not only her wish, but other things as well.
Well, I'll find her come hella high water. Are you with me, Snowy?
He barks energetically. I respond with a thanks and a smile. 24 and Snowy are encouraging me, though I do not have any clues I will find her, no matter what happens or how long it takes. I search my current location once more. Now that I am further from the research facility, I can use my GPS to triangulate my position. But on seeing the results, I cannot help but stop running. Snowy stops a little further ahead and then returns to me. My current location is Yakushima within the Kagoshima prefecture. It is a remote island far from shore.
No.
Right, so I would have to find a way back to the mainland. The island's perimeter is only 132 kilometers. In such a limited area, it will only be a matter of time before a full-scale manhunt apprehends me. The research facility must have been built on an island in anticipation of such situations. Even if someone were to escape the facility, the island's geography would contain them. It is essentially a natural prison. I do not want to believe it, but my hope was meticulously strangled before I was born. However, I cannot wait here to be captured. I began running. Though as expected from my position data and map, I immediately reached the ocean.
So, this is the ocean.
This was the memory that Igus pulled during her story.
It's so huge. I can't see anything out there at all.
I look at the glistening surface of the ocean, reflect the sun's light, and ponder its beauty. I am at a loss. Though I knew it would come to this, I could not stand idle. Despite this, my feelings sink. Snowy looks up at me from time to time as I stop running and begin walking. Its gesture of concern forces me to smile and tell it that I'm alright. The forest becomes a grove, the trees grow sparser. A blue ocean and sandy soil leading up to it spread before my eyes. Check my map again. This is not an uninhabited island. There is a means for people to come and go, but I doubt that I will be able to use those methods freely without arousing any suspicion. I gaze down at my own hand. It is completely unlike a human hand. It is an object sculpted from metal.
Well, that's a problem. What should I do?
Hit up a retail store. My question seems to dishearten Snowy.
Come on, don't give me that look. Ah, well. Maybe it's my fault for getting so frustrated. Sorry, Pooch.
Just as I'm about to crouch and pat Snowy's head, he moves as if avoiding me.
Snowy?
Snowy circles around behind me and growls towards the way we just came. I train my senses in that direction and sense presences in the distance. They may be keeping their distance on purpose. Since I have no firearms, they must understand that their effective range exceeds mine.
Looks like they're coming.
Amongst the human soldiers and a number of my sister units, it is possible that I can convince them not to fight. I dismiss the idea as hopeless. Though they may have awakened to their ego after my escape, they will be under their commander's orders. Even if that is not the case, they may think their orders are absolute, just as I once did.
Knowing why they're here doesn't make it any easier to deal with them.
It does not seem as if they will all attack at once. They must understand that I am already at the ocean and have nowhere to escape. I do not want to surrender, but I am frustrated by my powerlessness to be caught like this. I have my own mission to accomplish. The ocean sparkles. The periodic sound of water I once heard from afar echoes from it. As I gaze at the clear water while it ebbs and flows, the mysterious feeling rises in me.
Wow. Look at that. It's beautiful.
My opponents show no indication of moving. I step out of the sand. After cataloging that sensation, I approach the pier, stretching to the ocean. About to pull a Moses? When I step onto it, the wooden planks creak. I can hear Snowy's light tread behind me as well. I stand at the end of the pier and look out at the ocean. I wonder if she is beyond this ocean that seems to stretch on forever. The girl 24 wanted to meet. The girl that I wish to meet as well. This mother figure who loved us and wished for our happiness. While my thoughts turn to the girl whose face I do not know, I decide to preserve the ocean's beauty in my memory. After all, it may be the last time I'll be able to see the ocean as myself. The odds are high that when I am restrained and return to the facility, my memories will be wiped. I am scared. I'm frustrated. I do not want to be erased, but I do not think all my hopes are lost yet. It may be the end of me. But just as I inherited the memories of 24 and other units, my memories will surely endure it into the next generation. I will keep these feelings along with this beautiful ocean scene, deep within the origin of my heart. There it cannot be erased or tampered with. The blue sky and ocean. The shining sun and glittering water. The gentle breeze and the calm sounds of the waves. This scenery from the pier is so stunning that it is unimaginable from inside the research facility. I'm glad that the last place I see is so beautiful. With the ocean before me, I speak to any future sisters that I have yet to meet. It might be called a type of prayer.
To all the ones I'll never meet, but will receive my memories.
My emotions race ahead of my thoughts. I cannot find the right words to say.
There's so much I want to say to you that I don't know where to start.
I close my eyes again and calm my heart. To my descendants, whom I will probably never meet. You ever find something precious to you as I did with 24, and wish to meet them? May you meet them here. May you go beyond this pier to places I could not.
I just pray from the bottom of my heart that everyone can find happiness, as long as that happens. I don't mind if I...
Even though my wishes may not come true, I'm still satisfied if I can entrust it to someone I believe in. 24 says something along those lines.
This be it.
Snowy rubs against my leg. It is a warning for me to be cautious of my pursuers who may have arrived and are coming closer. Or does it only want me to pet it? I look closely and realize that it is the latter. It must be worried. I crouch down and scratch his head.
Hey, Snowy. You think... this is what it means to feel alive?
Snowy looks at me while wagging its tail. I pick it up and gently hug it. It shows no signs of resistance and allows me to do so. My pursuers are closing in now. I will not run anymore. It is true that I am still frustrated, but it is strange I am also satisfied. Snowy licks my cheek.
Thanks. I'll be okay now. Things are about to get hairy, so you should hurry and get out of here.
I let Snowy go, but it does not leave me.
Come on. If you don't go, it'll make things hard on me. Okay?
It looks at my face for a while. Eventually it droops its head and walks off. It looks back several times but soon disappears into the tall grass. My relief is cut short by 5 armed humans pointing their guns at me. I have no intention of resisting. I smile at them. Though it was only for a short while, I lived. I felt the happiness of passing down my wish. It was only for a brief moment in time, but I may have granted the wish of a girl who is our mother. I allow myself to be restrained without resistance, then taken back to the laboratory. I was so absorbed in my escape attempt that I did not notice the severe damage I inflicted upon the facility. It seems that the delicate machinery used to tamper with my memories is in no condition to be used.
Damn it! Look at this mess!
Man, if I was Labrys, I would have destroyed everybody. I would have taken out the researchers, and then I would have destroyed all like the test tubes, all the equipment, everything. And then caused the dark hour right after. Kill everybody.
Going after humans? Oh, I bet the girl they used as a template for this model was a snotty brat too. Even if we delete its memories, it'll be too dangerous to keep using this unit.
There are so many things about it I want to research, though.
It's not worth the risks. The 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon will be sealed indefinitely once it's fully restrained again.
The voice is the last thing I hear before my consciousness is cut off. And that's that, right? Because that's when we skip forward back to 2012, where Mitsudo is transporting that because it's unsealed then. My consciousness should have been shut down, but I have awakened.
This place. It's that ocean.
I am on that pier. The blue sky and ocean. Shining sun and glittering water. The gentle breeze and calm sounds of the waves. Even Snowy is next to me. The scene is identical to the one from before. Though this time I sensed no pursuers. I was captured. I remember that clearly. This is obviously an abnormal situation at odds with my memories. But the clear blue sky and oceans are still so beautiful that I cannot help but gaze at them. If only I could go beyond that. Just as the thought crosses my mind, my viewpoints ascend. Soon afterwards, I realize that I am floating as if my body is weightless. I am astonished at myself to be thinking such strange things, but then my field of vision drifts as I turn my attention to that. Whoa. Labrys is entering her own sekai. Hello, it's me, Hatsune Miku. The scenery I knew already begins to mix with other environments I do not know. They become a connected and continuous image that pass like a slideshow. Oh, it's one of my streams. From time to time, I pass through the drifting images. I cannot grasp anything with those spaces. Even when they're about to collide with me, they pass right through. Could this be dreaming? I remember something I once heard from a researcher at the facility. They said that it is possible for us to dream since we have a mind and may develop an ego. Though it would technically not be identical to a human's dream, the phenomenon would be very similar. I feel that the example of research the researcher gave of what a dream is like matches my current description. I am currently having a dream. These things are not possible in reality, may be possible here. For example, if I can leave this island, if I can go beyond the ocean. The girl that 24 and I wanted to meet said that even though she knows the world is big, she would not be able to see it for herself. What could that have meant? Was she in a place that limited her world, as I was unable to leave the island? Just when it seems that the images flowing around me have stopped, I find myself in an unknown room. There's a bed here. Next to it is a flat screen monitor. There are also white sleeves surrounding the bed. The one side is a stand for an intravenous drip. What? Oh, it's like that thing, the stand. There is a machine connected to it by cords, though it is small. It appears to be functioning as a life sign monitor. It is similar to the research facility. Could it be a hospital? The voices that sound from somewhere belong to a man and a woman. I've not heard these voices before.
She said during this morning's checkup that she wanted to go to school. She asked how much better she needs to get to be able to go.
Understandable. This ward is right near the road most of the students take. She must be lonely too, not having seen her parents lately. How much better she needs to get. She still doesn't know that her condition is incurable.
Why don't you be honest with her and tell her she won't ever be able to go? It's cruel to string her along like this.
Shh, keep your voice down. Room's next door.
I understand at once that these people are speaking of the girl I wish to meet. The scene feels as if it comes from my own memory. I do not doubt it at all. The girl is suffering from some kind of illness. She may not be able to go outside. Her condition prevents her from leaving her small world. Life is like ours. Could the girl have heard this convo? How did it make her feel to hear it? I wanted to spend more time in the outside world. I want to live a normal life. The thoughts that come to my mind are not my own.
I wonder if the nurses thought things like the student council were too much trouble to bother with when they were in school. I don't know. It sounds fun to me.
Just as I thought, it is the girl's voice. When I listen to her, I can sense her strong yearning and admiration.
You gotta admire the student council president. I mean, they're the ones that get things done for everyone. But I guess it's because they're like that in the first place that they get to be president, huh?
The girl had a strong desire to attend school and live a normal... Oh, I see. This is where it comes from. And live a normal school life with friends. As I review these voices and feelings, an interest in the school she longs grows within me.
High school. I wonder what that's like.
So through projection, that's how Labrys came to fulfill that role.
Would it be fun?
For the girl. I wish to see for myself what she desires. Is there a specific image of it? What kind of place is it? What activities do its attendants perform while there? But there are no memories in regards to schools. This must mean that the girl has no such memories.
Figures. I don't know anything about schools or whatever else student life is like.
Want to see them.
I can show you if you so desire.
A voice answers my unspoken thought. Who could it be? I do not think I know this voice. For some reason my mind becomes hazy. I cannot access my memories easily.
Huh? Who's there?
There's no need to be alarmed. I only want to give you a glimpse of the world you long to know.
Oh, this might be the main villain, like the Shadow Teddy. I was under the impression that this was a dream. Dreams are supposed to be a release valve for memories, yet this voice does not feel like a part of me. Is that even possible? As I ponder these things, the scenery around me changes completely. Oh, it's Shadow Labrys at the time. I finally see a 3-story concrete building. I do not know this building. As I examine it, my surroundings change again. Shadow, it's the Shadow world, right? Yeah, it's the TV world now. Same desk and chairs are lined up. In front of me is a large, dark green rectangular board on the wall.
Is this a school? A real classroom?
This is the place the girl wished to see. It is here that I have gained an interest in. I find myself forgetting that this is a dream and focus my senses on desk and chairs. I then realize that I can move around at will, just as when I felt my body rise at the beach.
So this is where classes happen.
I feel a sudden excitement.
Well, what do the students do when there aren't any classes? Do they just talk and stuff?
That's why she didn't have any of her mechanical parts too, because she She's not just projecting herself onto the girl's dreams, but also her body. So it's like if the girl was grown up and attending school, that's who Labrys is. Many voices are talking at once. It reminds me of the sound of waves near the ocean, but the sound is lively and enjoyable. The voices belong to boys and girls surrounding a desk. They are laughing and talking. They wear common clothing, although there are some differences. They may be uniforms, but it's interesting to see that each person's uniform is distinct in some way. The student is the only one with something around his neck. Oh shit, Yosuke. A girl with short hair and a green jacket raises her right hand. Next to her is a girl with long black hair wearing a red jacket. She smiles. Then there is a well-built young man with strange spiky hair. In contrast to him, I can see a small, delicate, intellectual-looking young man. Last, I see a young man with a calm demeanor sitting at a desk. The front of his uniform is open, his white shirt is showing. They seem to be talking about— wait, rest in peace, Rise is not in this class apparently. They seem to be talking about something I cannot quite discern what it is. The scene proceeds to show various points in a normal school day. Classes, activities, clubs, student council. It looks like so much fun that I can feel the excitement. But then I remember, this is all just a dream. I am only dreaming. No matter how much I want it, there will never be a day where I can attend school for myself. All the scenes that I saw centered around the young man and his friends, I will never join their circle. I cannot go to school. I'm not even human. I consider this self-evident truth once again. Though I look human, I am a machine made by humans. It does not matter how close my heart is to that of a human, or how much my ego develops. This mechanical body can never be truly human. Just as our mother could not overcome the obstacles of her illness no matter how she wished for it, I cannot overcome the obstacles of being a machine. It is futile for someone who cannot become human to yearn for a normal human life. There is a strange sensation somewhere in my chest that feels like pain. Still, although I am a machine created as a weapon, that girl loved me. What if there are other people like her who could understand me? Would I then be able to find a place to belong among them? But
you'll never find a place where you belong.
That's why you need to create it.
Humans created you as a tool. They would never think of you as anything more. Everyone, to a man, lives by averting their eyes from something inside them. They all wish to live inside a never-ending dream. For who has the right to say they shouldn't?
For just a moment, I sense an incongruity in that kind of voice. The strange pains within my body soften a little.
There are even humans who do not understand others' feelings. Still others do understand, and trample upon them regardless. Compared to them, you are much more human.
I remember the researchers. They certainly did not understand me, 24 or my sisters. We were treated only as objects, even after they tried to give us a heart.
Why not then seek to be human?
Me? Be a human?
The voice whines gently inside my mind. I feel my body is growing uneasily light, as if the world is spinning around me.
People sort through their memories in dreams. Each night they let go of painful memories and continue their lives with the morning sun. That's all you need do. Forget anything contrary to your desires.
If I forget...
Do not fear the act of letting go. The ones you admire wished only for you to be happy.
My mind seizes upon something. That precious wish. The desire given to me to meet our mother someday and tell her, thank you. I must not forget that. But as long as this wish is precious to me, as long as I cannot erase it from my heart, the fact that I am not human will remain.
And I too. All I wish from the depths of my heart is for you to find joy.
Thanks to the voices in my head.
Happiness.
I think back.
I wish from the depths of my heart for you to be happy.
I mean, sure, if it was 24 that was talking to me because I absorbed her plume, then that makes sense. But why does the voice sound oddly, male? I want to grant that wish. I want to tell her thank you, but that would be difficult for me now. In which case, should I not at least seize this opportunity and be happy here? For her sake?
Forget. And be happy.
Don't trust the voice in your head, Labrys. It's Shadow Teddy. My vision goes dark, and the sound I heard fade away. I feel as if I'm falling.
Everything is now in readiness.
And thus begins the events of the story, right? Damn, we're still going. Holy crap, it's been 2 hours. And I haven't fought anybody. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, Persona 4 visual novel, that's what. I mean, that's basically the first game too, but yeah, not really. When I open my eyes, I'm staring at the whole wood grain board. It's the surface of a desk. I quickly raise my head. Looks like I fell asleep in class. My sleeve was pressed against my forehead while I was still asleep and the texture left a mark. Oh man, I hope no one sees this. I rub my forehead a little and look around the classroom. According to the clock on the wall, it's 3:30 in the afternoon. The only thing written on the blackboard is May 1st, 2012, Tuesday. Everything else is erased. I stretch out my arms. I feel a little tired, but I gotta stay focused. After all, I just got elected student council president in the elections a couple days ago. I have to keep in touch with what people who voted for me want in a leader. Things with the student council will get pretty hectic after school. I should hurry to the student council room. I stand up and open the door in the back of the class. When I enter the hallway, there's no one around. I check inside the classroom as I go, but I still don't see anyone.
Where the heck is everyone?
It's weird. The whole school is usually rowdier than this after class. I should hear people talking and laughing in classrooms and teachers yelling at them to quiet down. Where'd all the bustle of the students and everyone getting ready for their after-school activities go? Just when I'm wondering that, I turn around and look down the hallway I just came.
Oh, there they are.
There's some students in the hallway. Some of them are chatting and others are coming out of the classrooms. A few of them run past me carrying their bags. Yeah, this is more like it. This is how school's supposed to be.
Hey! No running in the hallway!
The student gives an apologetic smile, but he just waves to me as he zooms down the stairs.
Jeez, you'll put your eye out if you don't look where you're going. Oh well. I just gotta clamp down on him more from now on.
I put my hands on my hips and sigh.
Hey there, Miss President.
Are you off to the student council room? Have fun!
Oh damn, the shadows are talking to me.
You're always so excited about that.
Bye, Miss President. See you next Monday.
Wait, Labrys actually genuinely manifested her own Sekai. Like this is... like this is Project Sekai. Where's my Miku? Everyone walking down the hallway talks to me. I wave back to them. I always had a lot of friends and people who knew me, but ever since I got elected student council president, all the students seem to know who I am. The job comes with a lot of pressures, but I know I'm up for it. I'm going to be busier than ever around school now. I did have my doubts, but in the end I'm glad I ran for student council president.
Yeah, I did the right thing. I did.
I head to the student council room. I wonder if Shadow Teddy is here right now then. It's May 1st, right? So this is 100% obviously before the Grand Prix started, because it was May 3rd, I believe, when Mitsudo and the gang went inside. But I think it was May 1st when Kanji fell in, so technically I think there's like a bit of a time gap between some characters actually entering the TV before the Grand Prix began. Either way, before I know it, there's a red light pouring in from the west window. It's already sundown.
Whew. Guess that's enough for today.
There's no one else in the student council room. I had the others go home before it got too late. But when I said that if they pushed themselves too much at the start, they'd burn out quick, they just laughed and said the same goes for you. Up to student council room and lock it up. As I go down the hall and return the key, I see a strange woman at the far end of the hallway. She's not wearing our school uniform. She's got an odd hat, some gloves, and a one-piece dress. What? They're all the same deep blue color on— oh shit, she found Elizabeth. They're all the same deep blue color. Underneath one arm is holding an odd-looking book. I can see her face. I can't see her face with her back towards me, but her short, straight hair draws my attention. Her hair is this radiant silver like if pearls were stretched out into strands.
Who in the world is that?
Oh, she found her. So Elizabeth was here all along. Maybe it's the clothes, but she gives off this strong presence. I get a little uneasy looking at her. I'm not tiptoeing or anything, but she doesn't turn around until I'm about 2 meters away. When she finally does, though, I gasp a little. Her features are so perfect, she's like a sculpture.
Hey, excuse me. You got some reason to be at our school? Are you sure this is how things should be? Huh?
I don't understand what she's getting at. But for some reason, the question throws me.
I am a wanderer who only stopped here because I sensed great power gathering. I am in no position to give advice. But, this place will soon be caught in a bit of a fracas.
What's a fracas?
If you continue to avert your eyes from everything, I think it will have an impact on your life in the near future.
My life?
What she just said sounded pretty scary. She may have some screws loose, but something is whispering to me deep in my heart. Asking me, doesn't she have a point? Aren't you looking away from something important?
What you choose is up to you, but I believe there are factors preventing you from making the right choices at the moment. I couldn't bring myself to just stand by and watch as you lost your life before my eyes. That is why I was waiting here to give you one last chance.
Oh, that's pretty cool because Elizabeth knows that she's the source, but she's an observer, right? So she's just kind of pointing everything out. The lady opens the thick book she's holding. Oh, what is this, Alice in Wonderland? Painted World of Ariandel? I don't know how it's doing that, but the light stretches from the book. It gets stronger and stronger until I have to shield my eyes. The blinding light finally begins to fade a little. I slowly open. The first thing I see should have been my arm. What I see instead is one made of metal.
Huh? What is this?
Oh, nice. She got rid of my illusion. I can't believe this awkward metal arm is mine. It's like metal plates are completely covering it. I start tugging at them, trying to tear them off.
It won't come off. What gives?
It's not just my arms, my legs have changed too. Why are my arms and legs mechanical? My whole body even. I stare at my hand in confusion. These are my hands, alright. Part of me knows that, and I shake my head. What am I thinking? There's no way these are my hands. It's not possible. It's not... My head hurts. What is this?
I will be your opponent for a short while. During that time, why not think back about who you are?
Huh? My opponent?
The lady takes a slightly defensive stance.
And away we go.
Holy shit. Okay, after 2 hours of footage, we get our first fight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god. Hopefully I haven't forgotten how to I haven't forgotten how to fight in this game. Or fight as Labrys specifically. Jeez. Alright. Let's do this.
Finally.
What's my combo again? Do this. Wait, she can grab with Thanatos? Wait, oh, I can't use my persona. Oh, what? I just realized Labrys doesn't have a persona. What? Okay, I can't. Can I use my skill then? No, I can't. Alright. I was trying to use my persona skills, but I couldn't. Interesting. Nice continuity though, because Labrys doesn't actually have a persona yet at this stage. I somehow managed to beat the lady in blue who attacked me. How did I win? How did I use those metal arms and legs like it was second nature? I don't understand. The lady in blue stands before me exactly like she was when I first saw her. She's not even breathing hard.
Well done. But I'm sure you realize now. You are not human. There must have been an important promise that could only be kept in that guise. That must have been your reason for living. Whether it's worth losing that or not, I ask that you give it serious thought.
An important promise. My reason for living?
I repeat that to myself. It seems important somehow.
Now, it seems the tumult of trials is about to begin, in which case, I bid you good luck.
The thick book in her hand closes with a loud thud. Oh, and my appearance goes, that's pretty cool. Strangely, that ordinary sound lingers in my mind. When I come back to my senses, there's no one here anymore. I take a nervous look at my arms and legs.
Nothing seems different about me.
There's no metal on my limbs now, just ordinary skin and bones.
What the heck was that? A dream?
Yeah, what was that? Would daydream be the word for what just happened? I can't sort out my thoughts, so I think to myself, I can't let it get to me, just let it go. But some things I can't dismiss that easily. You are not human. You have an important promise which must have been your reason for living.
She said I'm forgetting something? That I need to remember?
My head's hurting again. The pain brings back another memory. It's just for a second and I can't quite catch it, but I saw blue skies and the ocean and someone else was there. Maybe a white dog too, I don't know. I think there was a lot more to it, but the last voice I heard stays with me.
I mean, we're loved after all.
Well, this white screen certainly doesn't love my eyes. When I come to, my hands are balled into fists. That's when I make a decision. That promise, that reason for living. I have to hang on to it. I didn't hear them until now, but there was a strange voice everywhere in the school building. Is this the tumult of trials that Lady in Blue mentioned? Is that really going to be a thing?
I can't just leave this be. I'm the dang student council president.
As student council president, I have to find out what's going on in my school. I need to make sure the students aren't getting involved in anything dangerous. I start running towards the first floor. And this is where her adventure begins. Yeah, end. What? We only get one fight with Labrys? Okay. P4U story. You can now continue from the cliffhangers in Yu, Yosuke, Chie, Yukiko, Kanji, and Teddy's story. Okay. Yu, Yosuke, Chie, Yukiko, Kanji, Teddy. I like how Naoto's left out of this. Alright. P4U story. Oh, interesting. This isn't Labrys' full ending. It's just as clear. Oh, wait. That means Labrys' story is done. So I need to play these stories now. I see. What the hell? I didn't unlock the middle one then. Okay, but that sounds good. Well, this pretty much marks the midpoint, at least I'm hoping, of the story because holy shit. Believe it or not, it's been 20 hours of reading for all of these stories, so a lot of continuity, a lot of setup and exposition pretty much done. And now we can move on to the main story here, which I know we kind of went ahead during the first episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to just reread these 3 episodes quickly on my own, so I just have the context needed, and then we'll jump into these 2 side stories here and pretty much see how much I can fit into every episode. Maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, we'll see.